excuse my voice. I'm trying to get over bronchitis. I've been sick for like 2 weeks or longer. Also, excuse my nails. I have not done them yet. I was going to do them for New Year's, but my entire family has been sick, so bear with me on that. So, first things first, I want to say Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a wonderful and safe and Happy New Year. We really just sat at home because my son has an ear infection again. My youngest daughter has been sick, and then myself and my boyfriend have not been feeling great either. Obviously, I said I have bronchitis. I think he just has this little flu bug or whatever that Kinley had. So, excuse me if I take a couple drinks of that because I'm trying to keep my voice. I lost my voice completely for like a week or a week and a half. So, I'm happy to finally have it back, and I'm trying to keep it. Okay, so today we're going to be setting up my new budget planner. I was going to do a story time originally when I was setting up my budget planner because I mentioned something in the video, and I actually am reshooting part of this because I talked about what happened with my dad, and it's a very lengthy story. So if that's something that you guys would be interested in hearing about or getting details about, as most of you know, my dad got sick April 27th of 2023. He went in to have a major procedure done, and when he came out, his life was changed. So, if that's something that you guys would be interested in hearing about, I would definitely be okay or open to discussing that now. Now that we have him home and safe and kind of figuring things out. I do have another life update. My boyfriend and I picked our kids up and moved us back to our old town. So our housing managers told us that they were in fact not going to allow us to get rid of our home. So we are back in our home, and honestly, it's probably the best thing that we could have done because my parents really needed that space in their home as far as for the medical equipment that my dad now needs. So with that being said, we are home. We've been home since December 27th. And so we are back in our normal setting, in our normal area, and my boyfriend's getting his old job back, and I have a really, really good opportunity that has fallen into my lap that I'm going to do my best to take advantage of. So here's to hoping for the best for 2024. And I'm praying and praying and praying and praying for nothing but health and happiness and a really good journey for 2024. I, aside from the bronchitis that I have, I do have a couple other medical issues that we are in the process of taking care of. So if you would not mind, please send some positive vibes, good well wishes, or prayers, just lots and lots of prayers, because okay, sorry, like I was saying, yeah, just please send some positive vibes, and lots of prayers and well wishes, because I was at the ER overnight one night, trying to figure out why my right side of my back was hurting. We couldn't figure it out. They had a few other things that they were concerned with, so I'm seeing a few different doctors to kind of try to figure out and pinpoint what's going on so that we can get it taken care of. So And I'll kind of talk about that at a later date as well. Once I know a little bit more of what's going on, I might mention it in my Plan With Me video just because I have some appointments coming up, so I'll probably talk about it a little bit there, but other than that, let's get into this video. And also, I just want to say I'm so sorry for the way that I sound. I know it sounds terrible, but this is my voice right now. This is what it is, so I just gotta make the best of it. I'm so excited to be using this. I'm so excited. I can't even begin to explain to you how excited I really am to be opening this up finally. I've had it since she came out with it in, I think I finally got mine in like September or October. But I ordered it the day she launched it, and I was so stoked. So let me put this off to the side really fast. Okay. Make sure I'm still... Oh yeah, you can see. Okay. Move that a little bit more so I can push this up. Beautiful. Okay. So... Oh, a little too far. So the part that I recorded the other day was this. My yearly goals. So for my yearly goals, I wrote down, I decided I'm doing it by quarter. So at probably the beginning to middle of March, I'm going to come in and do my quarter 2 focus and my quarter 2 goals. So my quarter 1 focus is going to be my regaining my financial freedom. I had gotten to a pretty good point last year, probably around like, I don't know, February, maybe March or April. I think it was February. But I had kind of gotten into a good position where I was finally back to work. I was, working a part-time job. That wasn't ideal, but I had the money that I needed to make my payments every month, and I was never behind, and I was kind of getting my life back in order. I was saving, and that's where I was really wanting to be at. So that was something really big for me. And when my dad got sick, I racked up a lot of credit card debt. I missed a lot of work. And so I put myself in a really bad situation financially. And then when we moved, I emptied everything out. So, and that's okay, because at that point in time, I really needed to be with my family, and my family really needed me down there as well. So it's okay that I did that. But now it's time to buckle back down and get back into a good routine and get back to where I need to be. So that is my quarter 1 focus, is just regaining that financial freedom again, getting back into a good spot, and feeling more free as far as not feeling so worried about, what's next, or am I going to have enough money to pay this car payment, or so on and so forth. So that is my quarter 1 focus. For January, the goals are simple. Get a good job that will get you through CNA classes. I still haven't decided whether or not I'm actually going to do these CNA classes. I've been back and forth on it for a little while. But with this opportunity that I just got, that I'm trying to take advantage of, I don't know if I'm going to end up doing the CNA classes. It's just going to be one of those things where I need to kind of write it out. I need to talk to the schools and the programs, and I need to talk to different CNAs around my area, and I need to talk to different agencies and things like that to really see what I would be looking at as far as price that I would be getting paid, or amount that I'd be getting paid. And then I also need to know about the benefits. So that's something that I'm going to be researching, and I will have an update on that later. the other thing that I have down for January is get a good routine down for my family. So right now, with us moving back and unpacking things and the new year and Christmas, we had to leave half of our stuff at my parents' house because we just didn't have enough room for the stuff that we got. And a lot of the stuff that we have is like small stuff, so it wouldn't fit on the open trailer. So we had to leave a lot of stuff there. And then, school starting back up and stuff like that. So right now, I just really want to get into a good routine with my kids and myself and my boyfriend to just kind of, get back to where we were. For February, I have set up a manageable budget and stick to it. So, I have a tendency sometimes to, if something comes up, I'm like, oh, we have the extra money for that. I don't really want to do that anymore unless it's like an absolute, like, have to do that kind of thing. But sometimes that's not avoidable, like emergency situations. Now, when it comes to like the kids just want something, if I don't have the money in my wallet available to be used for it, I don't want to pull from other funds to do that. And sometimes that's something that I catch myself doing is trying to pull from other funds to cover things that aren't necessarily a need. I like to do that for my kids, but in order to get us back on track, I have to have a budget and I have to stick to it. So if it's not within the budget that I've given for my kids, then I can't do it. And I need to start doing that. So that's my goal for February. And then for March, and the reason I have a manageable budget in February instead of January is because in January, I'm going to be figuring out what my pay is going to look like. I'm going to be figuring out what my bills are going to look like again, and so on and so forth. So that's why it's a February goal. In March, I have money saved up for my dad's benefit. So my dad's having a benefit. My mom's class reunion got together and they were wondering where she was. And my mom was like, I'm not going to be there. We've been in and out of hospitals and a rehab center. And so my dad just got home on December 20th. So from April 27th until December 20th, he was not home. And there are a lot of major changes to his life. And so my mom was like, we're not going to be there. And when they found out why, they set up a benefit for him. And I could not be more thankful because she wouldn't let me do like a GoFundMe or anything like that. So when they offered to do it and started setting things up, I was super thankful, and I know my mom is too. The community that they live in, they've been in since they were kids. So it's really, really nice. And there's been a lot of support from like my mom's family. The only family that they really have. So between myself, my brother, my grandparents on my mom's side, and then my mom's sister and my mom's brother, there's been just so much help and encouragement for my parents, and I'm just like forever thankful for that. So that is something really, really big for me for March. Down here we have our yearly habits, and then we have our monthly streak. Obviously I cannot mark this off until the end of the month, and then I can, but my first one is write financial goals and push towards them. So meaning these are what I'm meaning. So I'm wanting to make sure that I'm really pushing for these to come true, and when they do, then I'll move on to my next ones. So that's the way I'm looking at that. Check in with your budget planner daily. That's something that I'm pretty good about doing already, but I want to continue that in 2024. And even on the days that I just feel like I cannot do it or I don't have the time, I still want to at least sit down for a few minutes and just glance at it. Because the more that I remind myself that I have stuff going on and that this is something that is a daily thing, then the more I'm going to push towards it. Like I said, typically I already do because I'm obsessed with my finances. But this is just a goal, or a habit, I should say. Down here we have check your bank accounts daily. Again, typically I do that, but it's something that I want to continue into 2024. I think that it's really important to know where your money's going and when it's going. Okay. Next I have minimized debt. So 2024, I am going to be getting rid of quite a bit of debt. Actively. So with tax returns, I'm going to pay off quite a bit of it. But if I get this job that I'm looking at being able to get, I should be able to pay off a lot of my debt by the end of 2024. I'm going to be attacking debt like crazy because once I get that debt down, I'm going to feel a lot better about saving. My credit score will go higher, and sooner rather than later, I'll be able to buy a home. Not just rent houses for my kids and I, but we can buy a home. Of course, I do want to wait until the interest rates go down, but that gives me time to minimize my debt. So now I'm going to flip over, and over here I do have donate. I want to start donating more to charities. So I actually started that in 2023. I wasn't able to do a lot, but I was able to donate to my friend's dad who was having kind of like a GoFundMe or a benefit for his illness. And then I donated to Salvation Army and there was another place supporting troops and getting care packages together and sending them off for the holidays. So that's another one that I did. I do have a couple other donations that I need to do as far as one of my childhood best friends, her mom has cancer and they had a benefit for her, but at that point in time, I didn't have the finances to be able to donate. So once I get a little bit of money in, I want to be able to donate to that as well. It won't be a lot, but it'll hopefully be enough. So there is that. So on this page, we have sinking funds, and I'm actually going to start doing sinking funds updates. And so when I start that video, or when I start those videos, I guess, this will be the beginning of that series. It's not really a series, it's just like, it's going to fall into a certain day. I'm getting my, schedule back in order. So once I do, then this will have a certain day. So that's when I'll start these. Now, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, this sounds horrible. For our yearly bill tracker. So I am using, for this part of the budget binder, I'm using this beautiful pen from Baddies and Budgets. And, goodness, I wish I didn't sound so crazy. So I'm going to be using this pen. The reason I'm not going to use it throughout the entire binder is because this is a blue ink pen. And I just bought new highlighters and stuff to prepare for the new year. So I'm actually, the rest of the year, going to be using these pens. They're beautiful. And they have my name on them. Super cute. My old coworker at the bank from down south that I worked at bought them for me as a Christmas gift. And it was super, super, super thoughtful of her. And she didn't even know that I was planning on buying pins for myself for the beginning of the year, and now I don't have to, so that was awesome. So my yearly bill tracker, I have decided that I'm not going to include my car, none of my credit cards, and not my shed payment, because those are going to be listed under my debts, because those are debts, in fact, that I have to pay back. And so those are going to go under debts, and then the debt payoff sheets, I'm going to record all of that in there. So this is just going to be my every month bills. So like my rent, my car insurance, because that's something that I'm buying, my life insurance, my US Cellular, things like that. So I'm going to start here. Okay, sorry, I had to take a moment. I had to blow my nose so bad. I couldn't find any tissue, so I had to take off for a second. But I can breathe a lot better, and I'm not sniffling as much, so that's good. So rent, so we got some bad news. Like, as soon as we moved in, I went and like checked our mailbox, and our rent is being upped in 2024. So when we renew our lease, if we don't find something cheaper, our rent is going up in April. So that stinks, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So right now, our rent varies. So I'm gonna write in the due date, and then every month I'll just have to come in and kind of write the amount. So 1/1/23. So my rent should technically be paid right now, but my check won't hit my bank account until tomorrow. So we're gonna have to pay that. So we pay that monthly, not quarterly and not yearly. And this is for January. And actually, I would like to use my highlighters here. But when I pay it, I'll come in and circle J and I'll write the amount in. Because I'm not going to use my highlighters with a blue ink pen. I kind of feel like that's a little weird. I don't know if it's just me or what, but yeah. So next I'll write in Ameren. And our due date for Ameren should be 1/5/23, and we will be paying that monthly. However, we still haven't got our Ameren bill, but I just made the changes over the weekend, so maybe it'll kind of regenerate itself. So again, that's something that I'll have to come in and write in here. Next will be Xfinity. So I'm only going to write my half of these bills, and Xfinity is going to be $42.50. And I cannot remember when that is due. Is it the 15th? Let me double check. Hang on. I hate how many noises this chair makes. Let's see. The 13th. Okay. So 1/13/23, and that is a monthly expense. The next one is US Cellular. So I actually just made December's US Cellular payment. So it's due on the 31st, and I pay it on the 1st every month, or the 2nd as soon as I get my first check. But once I get started into a routine, I'd like to go ahead and just start paying it on the 31st. So hopefully I will get that figured out and situated to where I can do that. Again, it's another thing where I'm going to have to come in here and write that in every month because it's never the same. My subscriptions, I'm not sure that I'm going to add here because there's another page for subscriptions. So I think I'm going to wait, hold off on that, and write that in on the next page. Car insurance. So my car insurance is the same every month. However, sometimes it's on the 20th or the 21st and sometimes it's on the 22nd. So I'm just going to put the 21st. And I'm writing 23 on all these. Did you guys notice that? Oh, loud girl. It's going to take me a minute to get used to that. I'm going to have to white those out and change them now. Okay. And then life insurance. And my life insurance usually auto drafts on the 5th. And that is $28.84. And that is for me and all 4 of my children. It's really nice that it's $28.84 for that price. But that's for a 30-year period. So I'm going to be paying that same exact amount for 30 years. My brother works as an insurance, or at an insurance company. So he kind of like gave me the rundown on what I should do. And that's what he suggested. And I'm glad I did that because his is much higher. And he's only 5 years older than me. But he waited until last year to do it. Or a couple years ago to do it. So I'm thankful he did that for me. Okay, so now we're gonna flip this over. Can you guys still see? I'm gonna completely move my candle, but so I also apologize because my mount, my actual phone mount, we accidentally left at my parents' house. So super upset about that, but it's okay. So for yearly subscription trackers, we are going to start right there. Give me 1 second, I gotta find my sheet for that. I have little cheat sheets that I wrote out so that I could know exactly what goes where. So I don't have to sit and wonder like, oh, what was that supposed to be again? Oh, that's right. So this one's done. I'll throw that away in a second. Okay, so for our subscriptions, we have CBS from Roku, so I'm gonna put Roku CBS, and that amount is $5.99. I pay that monthly, and it is due on 1/2/24. Goodness. Next one is Paramount Plus. And you guys, I am still obsessed with watching Top Gun Maverick. I don't know why, but that is just such a freaking good movie. So that's also $5.99, 1/3/24. My boyfriend actually gets annoyed with me because he's like, why do you watch that movie all the time? And I'm like, because it's so good. So yeah. Amazon Prime. Okay, so I pay $6.99 for Amazon Prime, and that comes out on the 7th. And then we have Netflix that comes out on the 13th, and that's $15.49. Is it the 13th? And I pay that monthly, and I am going to be changing some of these subscriptions to yearly, but I'm going to do that with tax returns because it saves even just $20, but that $20 adds up. I mean, you think about it, these subscriptions add up every year. It's wild. Next will be Amazon Prime Video. And that one is $15.99 every month. And I pay that on the 20th, or it comes out on the 20th, I guess. And the last one that I have is Cricut, and that auto drafts $9.99 out of my account every month on the 21st. And then as I go, I'll start marking it off. And if I ever add any subscriptions, I'll go ahead and mark that. And if I ever cancel any subscriptions, I'll note that too. So next I'll flip over here. And as you see, I have another cheat sheet. So this is a really big one for me this year. It's something I am super, super, super excited about. I was gonna wait to write on my debt list and like start on the tracker and things like that. But honestly, I'm so excited to get it just done and over with. So we're gonna start right now. So let's see. I hope this is in camera well enough. My freaking mount being gone is just driving me crazy. Okay, so we have creditor, balance, minimum payment, due date, interest rate, and is it active? Now, I do have a couple of accounts that are not active, but I am still going to pay. Actually, no, I think I only have one, but I'm still going to pay them off because I guess that's just how I am. I was told that it helps your credit score, but I was also told that it doesn't help your credit score. It actually lowers it. And I don't know why that is, but I would rather pay off my debts. If I owe somebody, I owe somebody. That's just how I look at it. So, the medical bills be getting me, but I'm not gonna write those down because I honestly don't even know how much I owe in those yet. So we'll be finding that out once they bill my insurance correctly. So, the first one that I'm gonna write is the oldest one that I have, and it is Acima. And if you don't know what Acima is, it's basically a lender that a lot of places like furniture stores and things like that use. We used it a few years ago to get our furniture, and this was before my dad started to get sick and went on disability. And he was making the payments at first, and then when he went on disability, he waited for a few months and then told me like, hey, I can't keep working. I have neuropathy in my feet. I can't feel my legs like that anymore. And my dad's always been a heavy equipment operator. He was a police officer. He was a firefighter. He was a factory worker. He is a jack of all trades. My father has done a little bit of everything. So he was like, I just can't keep doing it. And I was like, Dad, you should have told me in the beginning that you couldn't, like, I wasn't mad at him for not being able to pay the furniture. I was mad at him for not telling me that he was struggling with his health. That's what I was mad about. So, but regardless, I was in cosmetology school at the time, and I was working a part-time job at freaking Arby's. So I was like, oh no, I can't afford these payments. So I owe them money. It's fine. I'm gonna get them paid off, even if it is 3 years later. I don't care. I can still do it. So, and today I'm only gonna be writing the balances because, well, on some of them I might add like minimum payment, due date, I won't be adding the interest rate on any of these, and then I'll go in and add them later when I'm not recording because I don't remember the interest rate on all of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put not active, and the balance on this one is $2,313. The next one is going to be, oh, I see what I did. I wrote them in order of like when they came up, except my student loans. So I'm going to add those in really quick. So student loan number 1 and student loan number 2. Now, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and mention it now. I don't want any shade or hate, but I have technically started college 3 times. The first time was cosmetology school. I got like so close to finishing, and then I left because I was having my youngest daughter. Like literally I was about to have her, and we moved down south so that my family could help us for a little bit. And when I came back up, I just wasn't able to get back in, and then my school closed, so that sucks. The second time I went in for small business and accounting, but the part-time job that I was working at the time wouldn't work with my school hours, so they kept scheduling me for hours that they knew I was supposed to be in class. So I dropped those because I needed the money and, to take care of my family. And then this third time I started and I failed out of the semester, so I'm taking a break from school. The CNA classes are one thing because it's an 8-week course. It's very condensed and it's not going to be easy by no means, but that's why I'm kind of waiting for a little while. I'm going to save up some money, and then hopefully I won't have to necessarily work a full-time job while I am going through CNA school or classes. So that's the prayer, that's the hope, that's the dream, but we never know until we start. So that's where we're at. So my first one is $1,410, and the student loan number 2 is $3,387. And these are both active. The next one is my aunt. So I owe her money from whenever I was in cosmetology school. And then I also owe her money. Technically, I don't owe it to her. I told her I wouldn't be able to pay her back because it was a lot. But my youngest daughter got really sick when we stayed with my boyfriend's family. And we found out it was they called it an asthmatic, an asthmatic flare-up, but it was really an allergic reaction due to mold. She would stop breathing, or she would do really shallow breathing, or she would start like struggling to breathe. And I took her to the ER, and her oxygen was really low, and then there was like all sorts of stuff going on. So my boyfriend was like, well, maybe we should move upstairs in their house instead of being downstairs. So we tried that for a little bit, and she kept getting sick, and she was on these breathing treatments, and she was on her inhaler, and she was on all sorts of medications. So I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And I couldn't find a house for us at the time because we live in a college town. And so my aunt was like, you know what, I'll put up a hotel for you guys. Like, I'll pay for a hotel for you guys to be in. Just, get you guys out of the situation. And I love my boyfriend's family to death, but that's what was making her sick. And we told them that. And I don't think anybody really believed us, but it's okay. She's okay now. She hasn't had any more flare-ups. So as long as we kind of monitor her surroundings and things like that, and if we know she's going to be around anything like that, take precautions, it's okay. But so she paid quite a bit for that. I asked my mom if she knew exactly how much. She said she didn't know, about $1,000. So I owed her $260 already from the equipment that she helped me buy. She bought half of it. So I owe my aunt $1,260. And I'm just gonna put yes. Technically, she doesn't know I'm even paying her back, but. And then I'm gonna put grandparents because I owe them $260 because they bought the other half of the $520 equipment that I needed to help me through school. So next I'm gonna put my parents. Technically they don't expect me to pay them back for anything, but they helped me buy some diapers and some gas to get me to and from work. And so I want to pay them back. And on top of that, I think my mom's picked up a couple presents for me to give to my kids. I think they were $10 a piece for Christmas. And then she also had bought a couple some groceries for us that we had fallen short on, that I didn't have time to go pick up between work and going to get all 4 of the kids, and Noah being at work late, and I couldn't get to the store because I had doctor's appointments and this and that and the other. So I'm gonna give them $1,000. So then next is gonna be my car payment. So for my car payment, what is the price on that? So I am finally under I'm finally under $20,000 owed to my car. So $19,296 is what I owe. My minimum payment every month is $431.27, and it's due on the 20th of every month. So, and my interest rate is stupid. I think it's 11.35, but I have to double check that before I write it in here. So that's disgusting, but it is what it is. My next one is my Capital One, my regular Capital One card. And to that, I owe $1,024. Absolutely horrendous. And I think that one's due on the 15th every month. But again, I'm going to fill in this part off camera because I have to go into each of my accounts and double check that because I forgot to write those down when I was writing everything else. So Capital One, and then Capital One Silver. I owe $300, and both of those are still active. So for Community Bank, which is my Victoria's Secret card, I owe $246. Next is my Kohl's card, and I owe that $278, and that is active. So the reason that I have these two is because I had to stock up on some things from Victoria's Secret and from Kohl's. When I worked at Kohl's, I got a really good discount, and so I stocked up on Christmas presents that were like clothes, and that's where that's coming from. So one of the newer ones is World Finance, and according to Credit Karma, is that right? Yes, according to Credit Karma, I owe them $1,000 and $1,028. And that is active. And I think that's still on the 4th, but again, I'm going to write that down later. And then the next one is the shed, and technically my name is not on the shed, but I'm gonna include that in my debts because I pay half of it every month. So that's where we're at. So in total right now, I have $31,802 in debt, and hopefully by the end of this year, my main goal is to have that in half, to where I really only owe my car payment, maybe a SEMA, and my student loan number 2. Now I know things happen. I know, things will come up. That typically happens. But my main goal is to get rid of everything. But I hope a SEMA's gone. But if not, the only ones I'm okay with keeping is a SEMA, student loans, and my car payment. Those are the only ones. Capital One and Capital One Silver need to be paid off every single month. That's what I want to do. So that is the goal for 2024. Next, I'll come on over here. Alright, so my debt payment tracker. I absolutely love this, first of all. And second of all, there's 4 on each page. So there's 4, 8, 12, 16. That is 16 trackers. And I'm here for it. 100% here for it. That makes me super excited. Super stoked. I love that. Oh, wait. Wait. For debts, I also have to add, maybe if I can. Okay, can you guys still see that? Yeah. We're gonna add YMCA after school, and that's a minimum of $100 on the first of every month. And then I have to go in and figure out how much I owe still. But then I also have Bright Beginnings. And that is because I didn't have any help with anything, with any of the daycare. None of the summer camp last year I had help with, even though I did not make enough money to pay that. It was like $50 a day for the day camp, so that sucked. So I do have to pay that back. I think it's like $2,000, but I'll figure that out here in a little while. Bright Beginnings, I also do not have a total on, and I do not have a minimum payment. She said, just do what you can, because I did not get help with daycare down south. So, or I did, but I still had a substantial amount of money that I had to pay. I'm glad that I remembered those, though. So for my debt, let's see. So for this one, I'm going to put my car. And then, oh my goodness. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 in total that I need to write out. I might just wait to fill this out completely because I don't know if I want to add in my credit cards, because those are kind of reoccurring. I use them and then pay them off typically. So I don't know if I want to write that down, but all the rest of them I think I do want to. I'll go ahead and write World Finance, and then Um, oh, you know what? I'll go ahead and put a SEMA here. And then YMCA after school. Right. Beginnings. And I'm going to write down student loan. Number 2. Number 1 is the one that I'm going to pay off. First of all, it's the least amount. And second of all, it's the one that's already accruing interest. I think that's at 4%, but the sooner I can cut that out, the better. So that's what the plan is. I'm hoping to get that paid off ASAP. You know what? Student loan number 1. There we go. All right, boom. It's in there. The rest of these I think I'm going to wait on because of the fact that maybe I should go ahead and write in 431.27. I'm going to have to double check on that one. I think it's 108.04 or something like that, but minimum payment here is $100. I don't have a minimum payment here, and those I need to check on. So I think that's going to be all for our 2024 binder setup. I have quite a bit of stuff that I have planned for this year. I'm super, super excited. I'm so sorry for all the noises this chair makes. I'm so excited to see what 2024 brings. Like I said earlier, I know that, I have some health issues going on and some things that I'm trying to get figured out. But so sorry, my alarm decided to go off. So I will be getting them figured out. I will be getting everything situated and everything will be just fine. I'm hoping, I'm praying for the best as one does. Now I'm also going to come back here. Let me see where and just double check, make sure I'm not missing anything that I should be writing in. That's my week 1. Okay, it looks like everything's good. So the next thing that I'm going to be looking at starting is I'm going to be doing one of these in January. I'm going to be starting one of them, and then I will start the next one later on. But I am going to be doing much better about saving this year, hopefully. So, yeah, with that being said, that is going to be the end of today's video. If you haven't already subscribed, if you would like to, I would love to have you here. Definitely leave a comment with what your 2024 goals are and what you would like to accomplish in 2024. My main goal in 2024 is living a healthy life and having just an amazing year with my kids and my boyfriend and my parents and my brother and, our entire family. I'm praying for health for everyone, not just in my family, but all of you guys. I'm so tired of seeing all the sadness and the health issues, and I know that's a part of life, but I just want to see people be healthy and happy and striving to meet their goals no matter what. So I'm praying for the best for everybody, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.